दशवा मरुतः वृष्णिमातरः सोहं जामानो विदधते खुजगमय्या अग्निर्जीवा मनवः सूरचक्षसो विश्वेनो देव अवसागमन्निह ॐ द्योः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः क्षमा शान्तिरेधिः। गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमो। नमो ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय गौब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। अज्ञानातिमिराधस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयः चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। व्यासाय व्यासरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वे ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। बोले गुरु महाराज की जय, व्यास जी महाराज की जय। ओम जातचक्षुः सूर्यो अजायतः श्रोताद्वायुष्य प्राणस्य मुखादग्निरजायतः। हरणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्यहि लक्ष्मी जातवेदो महावः ताम जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यविन्देयं गामश्वं पुरुषान् सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। जयन्ती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वाधा नमस्तुते। जय त्वं देवी चामुण्डी जय भूत्यार्तिहारिणी जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोस्तुते। बोले दुर्गे मैया की जय। श्रीमद् देवी भागवत महापुराण की जय। व्यास जी महाराज की जय। विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायत पत्र नेत्रे येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णे प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमया प्रदीप।
नमो ब्रह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। विप्रप्रसादात् धरणीधरोऽहम् विश्वप्रसादात् कमलाबरोऽहम् विश्वप्रसादात् अजितो जितोऽहम् विप्रप्रसादात् भवराम नामः। बोले व्यास जी महाराज की जय।
की जय। सभी लोग आसन लीजिए। Everyone please be seated. मन शांति, मन ध्यान करो, हाथ जोड़कर। Let us all focus our minds, clasping our hands and bowing our heads as we offer obeisance. We welcome each and every one of you in the name of the Divine Mother. And this is the second night of Navratri. We will continue to read from the Devi Bhagavatam. But before so doing, I will ask you to listen to the voices and join in Kirtanam. Three versions at least.
He's going to sing an
Let them go. You decide. 1, 2, 3. Hello?
You want to sing an eight, right? You want to sing an eight, right? Sing. Get up quickly. You remember singing.
गाइए गणपति जगवंदन गाइए गणपति मोरे बसहि राम सिया मानस मोरे बसहि राम सिया मानस मोरे शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन शंकर सुवन भवानी नंदन गाइए गणपति जगवंदन 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 गाइए गणपति जगवंदन।
We're very proud and happy to see so many of you here today. My dear brothers come over from Ajax, Sam Prasad, and he will do first one bhajan.
Marissa, you want to sing after that?
Sorry, Sam.
You're supposed to fix it. You played fine just now. Marissa, come sit here. It's no fun to walk around with a sari. You gotta use a lot of pins.
दर्शन हो माँ तेरे सबकी अभिलाषा है मन में रहो तुम सबकी तुमसे यही आशा है। तुम विनती सुनो सबकी कल्याण तुम विनती सुनो सबकी कल्याण करो जग का सगुना दिखा करते करो दुर्गा उद्धार करो दुर्गा तुम विनती सुनो सबकी
संसार तुम्हारा है, कभी धूप कभी छाया है, एक दिल से जाना है, जो भी आया है। संसार
तुम्हारा है,
Scale. Which other mic?
It's on.
Mic then.
माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करती, 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 पग पग प्राण बचाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। तू ऋषियों की रीति सीधी, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्ति माँ। बोलो माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है।
You will listen to the voices of members of Kirtan Mandali, and this was Dhruv.
Yeah.
Yes, I made it. And now we'll be hearing from Marissa, and it's a very special day for Marissa today. She's celebrating her birthday. Let's give her a big hand, please.
हम बारे हैं जन्म जन्म के, हम बारे हैं जिस दिन दे दे पेरे अम्बे चरण कमल है तेरे
अम्बे चरण कमल है तेरे।
चरण कमल
Shakti Mata ki jai. हाथ जोड़कर मन ध्यान करो, आँख बंद करो. Let us clasp our hands, close our eyes and bow our heads as we contemplate the divine in the form of Shakti Mata. सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी
नारायणी नमोस्तुते
नारायणी
नमोस्तुते
नमस्तुते तु महामाये श्रीपीते सुरपूजिते
शङ्खचक्रगदाहस्ते
महालक्ष्मी
नमोस्तुते
महालक्ष्मी
नमोस्तुते
या कुन्देन्दुषार हारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणा वरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेत
पद्मासना
या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रविधिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु
सरस्वती
भगवती निशेषज्ञानव्यापा निशेषज्ञानव्यापा सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो बुद्धि, शक्ति और शांति. Enlightened state of mind, energized mind, and a peaceful mind. An enlightened mind, an energized mind, and a peaceful mind. These are the objectives that we should strive for during this period of Navratri. We all have intellect and we all are capable of devotion and we all have some form of energy. But like our cell phones, if they are not plugged in every night to be charged, although they have all of the capabilities, then they have no value because they are not energized. The manka Shakti, we have wisdom, we have knowledge, and we have the ability to peace and mind, but our energies are not focused toward that objective. Our energies may be focused about pleasing ourselves, displeasing others, acquiring materialistic wealth. These things are part of life makeup. But in order to have that buddhi, shakti, or shanti, that state requires focused attention being given to our lives. Last night we spoke about Maya. And we spoke of Bhuvaneshwari, the Divine Mother, other name. And we explained that Maya is what could be commonly called nature. Whatever happens in the world naturally, without any human intervention, is Maya. Whatever happens in the world, without any human intervention, is Maya. And we all know that we do very little other than destroy the world. The world, in all of its processes, every species is constantly engaged in activity that is creating life, there is coming a state of dissolution, and then resurrection, and then new birth again. Every being in this world, every molecule goes through this process. All of those things that are happening that we pay very little attention to, including our existence with all the blood corpuscles, all the activities of our breathing, all that happens in our digestive system, all of our ecosystem outside, all of these things are Maya. And who is the supreme controller of all this Maya? Shakti Ma. The Divine Mother we call Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Bhuvaneshwari, and many other names. Now, we have been told and we understand that Brahma is the creative force, Vishnu is the sustaining force, and Shiva is the redeeming force. We explained last night what redemption meant, and we talked about creation and sustenance. In the realities of the world, everything is created, everything exists, and everything goes to a point of dissolution. We, in common knowledge as Hindus, think of the divine in this aspect. God creates me, God will sustain me, and when I come to the end of my cycle, there will be a process of either redemption or destruction. Where does the Mother Shakti fit into this process? Last night I explained this, but I want to do this again briefly, because I considered that last night the matter was very heavy for many people. There was a lot to digest. So where does the Divine Mother Shakti, all the elements of nature, if a baby is born in this world and all the elements of nature are not active, the baby will not survive. Meaning if there is no oxygen in the air, the baby will die. So nature is continued to nurture. Then in the air then we have water. Water is a natural element, H2O, oxygen and hydrogen. These elements, if they do not exist, we will not exist. So while we take birth and Brahma creates us and says, go forth, nature nurtures us. Maya nurtures us. Ma Shakti nurtures us. Thus, in Hinduism, there is the Shivites, Vaishnavites, and Shaktiism, these three forms of relationship to God. Those who believe the Supreme Being is Vishnu Bhagavan, those who believe the Supreme Being is Lord Shiva, and then there are those who understand it to be Shakti. They're all supreme in their own way, having different attributes. Briefly, let us talk about the Vishnu attribute. Last night after our Katha, Marissa came over to me and said, Panditji, I'm glad you explained it in this way as you did last night, talking about the elements of nature. And she says, I want you to know that in school, when they've started to talk about Sigmund Freud and the id and the ego and superego, I knew about all of that already. And I said, where did you learn about it? What did you say? She learned about it at the Ram Mandir. But the point is, our scriptures must be understood from the context of what it really means, other than the caricature or the figures of the Devis. So coming back to Vishnu Bhagavan, in sustaining, God provides, what are the basics of sustenance? Oxygen, water, food. Then when we have those three, we need shelter and clothing. If we do not have the oxygen, will cease to exist. If we do not have water and food, we will eat each other. When we have water and food, then we become conscious of ourselves. We want clothing and we want shelter. In modern day sociology and psychology, there is a fellow by the name of Abraham Maslow. Maslow concocted this concept, which is a very factual-based concept and can be proven. He calls it the hierarchy of needs. Every human being evolves through its needs. First, he says there's a physiological need. We need water, food, clothing, and shelter first. If we don't get that, don't tell me about God. And then when our physiological needs are satisfied, then we evolve to psychological needs. We want to be loved. We want to belong. We want to give love, and so on and so on. When our physiological and psychological needs are satisfied, then we move to the next stage. It's called, according to Maslow, self-actualization. That's when we start thinking about, well, who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? And so on. But later on, after he pronounced this concept, later on, he said there is a fourth level. And that fourth level is what we call in Hinduism self-realization. So, Vishnu aspect represents sustenance, and where is who nurtures the food? Water comes from nature. So although Vishnu is the sustainer, he cannot operate without water. He says, I want to give you water, but water comes from nature. I want to give you food, food comes from nature. And who's the controller of nature? Shakti, Ma, and nature, Maya. My point is, this is why the Divine Mother is so profound, and those who worship her understand that the strength of our existence is built upon nature and its continuing evolution. Without that nature, the world will cease to exist. Shakti Mata Ki Jai. As promised last night, we are going to discuss tonight from the Devi Bhagavatam, Ram Katha, the story of Prabhu Ram. And we will talk about Mother Sita, and some interesting information about Mother Sita will come to us tonight. Yeah. What is that? Play this with me. Hold that. Om Namaschandikaya Bolo. Om
Namaschandikaya.
Om Namaschandikaya.
Om Namaschandikaya.
In this Katha, we are told that Prabhu Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan came into the world, got married, and then lost the kingdom, and he was exiled. And while he was there, his wife was stolen. And in this particular scenario, Narad Muni came to visit Bhagavan Ram while he was in great distress. And we joined them as is a dialogue between Narad Muni and Prabhu Ram. Om Namaschandikaya. Om
Namaschandikaya.
Katha radham shokato yatavai prakrito narah hitam sita cha janami ravane duratmana. Naraji says to the Divine Lord, that why are you afflicted with sorrows like an ordinary man? You are not an ordinary man. You are this Pare se Pare Paramatma, why did Narad Muni make a statement like this to Prabhu Ram? And why is the Lord acting like an ordinary man? First of all, he came to perform Ram Leela. He came to this earth, amongst the many reasons, to show us how to be human beings. So he's just being a human. He's acting out the role of being a human. And Narad Muni says, you're doing a great job of acting the human role. You're showing grief for the loss of your loved one. Om Namaschandikaye Bolo. Om
Namaschandikaye.
Ravani Duratmana. Ravan has taken away your Sita. I am aware of this. But listen to me, Narad Muni says. Tava janma ke kakuttasya paulasya nidamave maitili haranam jatamedam naradipa. Om Namaschandikaye. Om Namaschandikaye. He said, hey Rama, you are sad now, but your presence here has a great purpose. You were delivered to this world, you took form in this world for many purposes. Amongst one of them is to destroy Ravana. So remember, everything in the world has a purpose. There was no one who was born in this, who came into the world that didn't have a purpose of being here, although we may not know our purpose. Let us understand carefully that in the chapter in the book of everyone's life, there are 3 chapters: the beginning, the end, and the middle chapter. We have nothing to do with when we shall be born, where we shall be born, who will be our parents and our brothers and sisters. Do we choose them? Anybody choose their parents recently? You accept what you get and you're stuck with it. Parents also are stuck with the children they get. Now, they wish they could send some of them back and said, exchange this one, please. Give me another one. No. That is predetermined, and is predetermined by Purab Janam Ka Karma. Karma by previous birth. The child is born to a home, their karma puts them in that home. The parents who have that child, their karma caused them to have that child, and so on and so on. Then our departure. We never know when, we never know how and where, and we do not know how long we shall be here. That is also pre-written by our karma. Then the middle chapter, we have a chance to write by living it. Thus, this karma, Prabhu Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan, who is incarnate of Vishnu Bhagavan, is actually fulfilling karma that at different times, and we will not get into those katha, there was pronounced upon him a curse that you will have to suffer these challenges throughout your life. So Narad Muni is reminding him, he said, amongst one of those things, you as Vishnu Bhagavan made a promise. You promised Manu and Satrupa that you will come. You promised others that you will come, that you will come to redeem the world of its impieties and bring back righteousness. And you also promised that you will destroy Ravana. So that is why you are here. Now he goes on to explain to Prabhu Ram. Om Namaschandikaye Bolo. Om
Namaschandikaye.
Om Namaschandikaye.
Om Namaschandikaye.
The writer in this Devi Bhagavatam makes a note, and he says, please note that it was not the real Janaki that was stolen away. It was only a mirage of the Janaki that was stolen away. It was not the divine mother, Shakti Ma, that Ravan took and pulled away. It was an image that Ravan believed that became, as they said, we have now, what is the term? Virtual meetings where you actually see the person, you can hear them, but you can't touch them. But they're very real. Well, we knew about virtual people a long time ago. Because what Ravan took away was the virtual Sita, not the real Sita. That's the perfect description for Sita. The virtual Sita was taken away. In his mind, I've got the real Sita, but no. Now he continues to explain to Bhagavan Ram. Pratirta Ravanenasho भवभयनीराघवं तिरस्कृतस्यास्य वै जगृहकवरावन्बलात् शाशाप्त तक्षणं राम रावणं तपस्वी मृक्षां कृपिता क्रियतु मिक्षान्ति देहं सवस्तिशिताम् ॐ नमश्चण्डिकाय ॐ नमश्चण्डिकाय. Narad Muni says, this same Sita, I want you to know, was born another time. And this same Ravan was very, very enamored by her and approached her and tried to entice her to become his wife. And she rebuked him. And Ravan was totally offended. And Ravan held her by her hair and pulled her and dragged her. And she pronounced a curse upon him at that time. She, before pronouncing the curse upon him, she explained to him that, oh Ravan, what you have done is you have tainted me. By you touching me, you've tainted my life. I cannot exist in a pure state anymore in this world. And I will leave this world. But Ravana, I want you to know that I will come again, not by the birth from the womb of a mother, but I will come again in a distant form, specifically for your destruction because of what you have done to me this time. Again, karma. In another janam, and then she said, I will come, but not as human birth to destroy you, Ravana. So, Narad Muni is laying the foundations to Prabhu Ram. Remember, you took birth to destroy Ravana. And Sita had made a promise in it that she will come and be the object of his destruction. And what Narad Muni is saying? The play is unfolding. The play is unfolding. You are now challenged to go and find Sita, and you'll have to confront Ravana. He continues. Om Namaschandikaya Bolo. Om
Namaschandikaya.
Om Namaschandikaya.
Om Namaschandikaya.
Narad Muni, sensing the distress that Rama is projecting as a human being and the love of Ma Sita, he gives him some solace by saying, Kuru Dayyam Mahabaho Tatra Savartacheswaraha Sati Dharmarata Sita Tvam Dayanti Divyanisham Om Namaschandikaya. Om
Namaschandikaya.
He says, O mighty warrior Rama, have patience. Sita Devi is meditating upon you day and night. Although she's away from you, you're with her at all times. I mentioned last night about my adhure and my akele. That I feel lonely and incomplete. And when I'm lonely and incomplete, I feel lost. And I also said we must never ever feel lonely and incomplete because God is with us as a companion. And when God is there with us, we are not lonely and we are not complete. We are totally complete because God is with us. The presence of God takes away the loneliness. A second part is with us and complete. He makes us complete. Sita is saying, I am complete although I'm away from you because I think of you constantly and you're with me constantly. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai. And then he goes on to give him more comforting words about her condition. Kamadhenupaya patre kritva madhata swayam panartham priyashitam tasya panti chavamritam tatha. Narad Muni says that Lord Indra, who has heavenly cows, every day he milks from the heavenly cows a goblet of milk and have it delivered. This cow gives a special milk that comes with all the nutriments to support a human being. He said special milk is presented to her daily from Indra, and she then subsists on this alone. She drinks this milk that comes from the heavenly abode. Upayam katyadhya tasya nashaya radhava vratam kurusham sradhava Nashite Masi Sampratam. Om Namaschandikaya. Om Namaschandikaya. Om Namaschandikaya. Having given comfort to Prabhu Ram, he says, Narada Muni says, now listen, I will tell you how you will have to destroy this Ravana. Because it's not easy. There are some special things that you must do in preparation to destroy this Ravana. Now, we all have a bit of a Ravan within us. And that is presented itself when we operate in the id and the ego state. We call it tamasic and the rajasic state. That's the Ravana. And then when we move to the sattvic state, that's the Ram. So there is Ram and the Ravan within everyone. But we choose to who to relate to. We can move right up to sattvic state and then we have a relationship with Ram and then we don't have no relationship with Ravana. Or we can stay in the tamasic and rajasic state and we are Ravanas in all our lives. There are more Ravanas alive today than there were in the kingdom of Prabhu Ram. As such, he is saying that to Prabhu Ram, that I will tell you how to destroy this Ravana, but what you and I must hear from this message is how do we destroy the Ravana in our lives. Now he prescribes to him the process for preparing to destroy Ravana. Om Namaschandikaya Bolo.
Om Namaschandikaya.
Navratro Pavasacha Bhagavatya Prapujanam Sarva Siddhim Karam Rama Japohamavidata. Om Namaschandikaya. Om Namaschandikaya. Navratri Pavasacha. He says 9 nights of worship you must do for the Devi. And repeating the mantra of the Devi during those times, silently performing the homa, the havan in your mind, observing all of the rules, and you will have the desire. What is your desire? To destroy Ravana. To you and I, what is our desire? Is Ravana our next door neighbor we want to destroy? Or is the Ravana within? So when we are engaged in this vrat, we do want to destroy the Ravanas. And the Ravana is our Kam, Krodha, Madha, Moha, Ahankara. Our anger, greed, our false pride, and all of these things. These are the Ravanas, and we do this austerity during these 9 nights to give us the ability, as I mentioned, the R. First 3 nights is to reflect and to review. What are our negative tendencies that we want to get rid of? Second 3 nights, we recharge and recalibrate, prepare ourselves for the battle. And the last 3 nights, we reconnect to God and the battle is on. The battle is constant. By the way, the battle of fighting the Ravanas, never ending. As long as we exist in this mortal coil, there is Ravanas and we have to continue to fight them until we reach moksha. It says the happiest place to be is not to be in this world. I'm not telling everyone to take our lives. Because this moksha is to be in this world but yet not be in this world. If one can exist and not be affected by all the senses and sensualities of this materialistic world and the Maya, then we are in moksha and heaven. Om Namaschandikaya Bolo. Om Namaschandikaya. He says you must perform all of the ceremonies, and he continues to explain to him. Mayyevasya pashu madhyam bali datva vishatite dashasham havanam kritva sushakta swatam bhavishyasi. Om Namaschandikaya. Om Namaschandikaya. You must make all of the prescribed offerings of things that are of pure nature and do all of the prescribed austerities. Don't just say, well, you know, it's Navratri and I should fast because it's Navratri. So why are you fasting? Well, because they said to fast during Navratri. Like somebody's getting married and they said to me, Panditji, how many days should I fast before the wedding? So I said to him, what does fasting mean to you? He said, well, you know, I said, no, I don't know, tell me. He said, well, not eating meat and drinking alcohol. I said, so that's what fasting means to you. So how long can you refrain from not eating meat and drinking alcohol? By the way, this actually happened, and it happens quite often when I have the discussion. And he said, well, tell me, Panditji, tell me how long. I said, well, if I tell you 5 days, and then every day you're thinking about alcohol and eating meat, then it's a waste of time. Can you actually stop thinking about eating meat and drinking alcohol? I don't know. I said, well, then I can't tell you how long to fast. Only you can decide. You see, first the mind has to be prepared, then the body will respond. Psychosomatic. The psyche has to get engaged, and the body will follow. But if we live our lives only for the body, and the mind is somewhere else. But we say, okay, Panditji, hurry up and do the puja so we can go to the reception. Hurry up and do the wedding so we can get to the reception because, that's the big event. I said, I thought you were having a wedding, not a reception. And as such, we are all about the sensuality. Om Namaschandikaya Bolo. Om Namaschandikaya. So Rama is advice of all of these things and what to do. Now, Narad Muni continues to speak to Prabhu Ram. Naradu Vacha Sunuram Sada Nitya Shakti Radhya Sanatani Sarvakama Para Devi Pujita Dukhanashini Om Namaschandikaya Bolo Om Namaschandikaya. He says, Narad says, listen to me, I want you to know about this Shakti, that this goddess is eternal and ever constant and a force that exists now, in the future and the past. Last night I described to you, and I'm reiterating that tonight, and Narad Muni is telling Prabhu Ram, he says, this mother, this Shakti is nature. You cannot exist without her. You need to glorify this nature aspect. And by glorifying this nature aspect, this nature will protect you. This nature will be there for you. By the nature is there always. Now let's digress for a moment. We all know about Navagraha Puja. And we're told to do Navagraha Puja. Now I'm going to ask a question and I'm going to pick on somebody tonight. Why do we do Navagraha Puja? Neelamji? You. We do Navagraha Puja twice a month here. Everybody come, we do Shani Puja, we do all of the day. Why do we glorify the... No, some people say, oh, Pandit Biji, because I have a graha. So what is graha? Is that quote-unquote an evil spirit? I think the only evil spirits I know are people. I might be one of them. So what are these quote-unquote evil spirits that we talk about? And when we are told we have a graha, we think, oh my, it's some kind of supernatural power that is influencing our lives. Yes, there are natural powers that are influencing our lives, and that natural power is called M-A-Y-A, Maya. Now, I could buy an apple, like I talked about last night, and I bring it home and I put it over the kitchen sink, by the window, and I leave it there. And you bring one and you put it in your fridge. And every day you're cutting your apple and you're taking a slice and wrap it nicely and put it back in the fridge. And my apple is still sitting there. Every day my apple is going to a form of decay. Slowly but surely, as you're cutting and eating a slice of apple, mine is going to decay. And then suddenly, slowly, mine decays all the way to the filthy looking thing, and you have consumed your apple and gain energy. Was there a problem with the apple? Or there was a problem with the person who got the apple? We accuse the planets that they're creating a negative situation in our lives. The person who put the apple and let it to decay, they caused it to decay. And then someone will come and tell them, by the way, you have a grudge, that's why your apple is decaying all the time. But they didn't say to them, by the way, did you put it out by the windowsill and left it in front of the sun all day and in the evening, and then you didn't, and then you expect it to be. So we do the same thing in our minds. We have thoughts that create decay in our minds. Now, what influence does the planets have? The planets are also part of the Maya, the natural elements. Now, why do we pray to the planets? And we must pray to the planets? Because if the planets didn't exist, we wouldn't exist at all. If they didn't do what they do 24/7, we will cease to exist. If the earth stops rotating on its axis for 30 seconds, we will fail to exist. That is why we should glorify the Navgraha's. And if we are glorifying the Navgraha Devatas every day of our lives, then guess what? There is no need to do a special Navgraha Puja. And you know, many people come to me, Panditji, you have to do this Graha Puja right away because I already have this Graha. And I'm saying, in order for us to do this puja, you must not be having an expectation that you are going to be healed. You are demanding something from God. You are not glorifying God. You are demanding, God, fix my life for me, please. Is God the master? Is he your servant? Wrong reason to do Graha Puja. When we do Graha Puja, we are appreciating the Grahas. Please continue to do what you're doing and let positive vibrations permeate and be around me at all times. Navgraha Devata ki Jai. Thus, Prabhu Rama has been advised, and Narada says that this mother I'm asking you to pray to. Remember, here Narada is not talking to Prabhu Ram, he's talking to King Rama, who is acting the role of an ordinary man, and he says, as man, you must worship the divine. But you have needs, you have an objective you want to achieve. You need to prepare yourself mentally and physically to achieve this objective. You're going to go into battle. You need to be at your optimum peak performance level, and nature must support you at all time. Glorify the Divine Mother, because she is nature herself. She is nature herself. Now, how many of you drink a glass of orange juice? When you drink it says, I hope the vitamin C works for me. But why are you drinking the orange juice in the first place? Because you want vitamin C. Now you go to the doctor and he does a blood work and he says, by the way, you know, your vitamin D is very low. And then you say, oh, what do I do? He says, well, you need to take a double dose of vitamin D every day, so many milligrams. And now you go to the store and you buy it and you're drinking vitamin D every day. But before that, you never talk about vitamin D. But why are you drinking vitamin D? Because the doctor told you it was low. But if you were having a balanced diet and living a regular life, vitamin D would have been there. And you didn't have a graha come in your life where you didn't have vitamin D, because not having vitamin D is like having a graha. So you lack vitamin D, ye graha hai. Now you need to do this puja, start drinking vitamin D every day. Ye puja. Om Namas Chandikaya Bolo. Om
Namas Chandikaya.
Now I'm not telling anyone to stop asking the Pandit to check the graha. It's important that we know, but we must not go there. Some of us go to the Pandit for fortune telling. Can you tell me my future, please? If I tell you your future, you might not like it. You may not want to live anymore. So sometimes we need to live and let the future unfold itself. So Marisa is 18 and she's thinking, should I ask Panditji to tell me my future? Well, will I be going to UFT? Or would I be going to McMaster? Or would I be going to... That kind of future is easy to tell. I said, tell me your grades. And you put in these applications, you could get into all three. I don't need to read any Panchang to tell you that. Right? But then if she asked me, well, Panditji, will I get a very big job and be a CEO and make lots of money? I said, that I can tell you also. If you go to the university and you get a master's degree, you get a big job, you get lots of money too. Easy. No books to check that out. But if you didn't do none of those things, I can tell you also, you won't get anywhere. And I don't need a patra to tell you that. So the Panchang has a place. When a child is born, the nakshatra, the time and the moment of birth is important to gauge and understand the mentality of that comes under these structures. Because it is said that based on this structure of nakshatra and location, there is a certain mental capacity that is there. And we can identify that by that. There's a chart that said, okay, if you're here, blah, 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 you fall into that. Now, I don't know how many of you read the Toronto Sun, and I don't know if they still have it. They had something called biorhythms being published every day. Does anybody read the Sun? Do they still have it? And by the way, in the 40s, in Japan, after the war, the Japanese industry moved so aggressively and became the more productive industries than the American industry. And they had applied a certain methodology. It was biorhythm. They actually tell people which day to come to work. They will tell them, you should come and work between these hours because you're like, you are more energized at this peak of day. You're not good on Saturday, you're not good on Sunday, but these days you can work for 12 hours. And if you look at your lives carefully, all of us have biorhythms whereby we are high in energy on a certain day, and like on Friday, don't tell me to work anywhere, please. It's Friday. But scientifically proven, similarly, this Panchang can tell you which are your high days, which are your low days, which are the days you must really go out there and try to plow the field, which is the day you shouldn't plow the field, and so on and so on. So it could be used for that also. It could be used to identify and say, well, look, matching, when they say two people have to get married, when they say Ganna, Baite, do they have a matching personality? The Pandit will never tell you that they have a totally matching personality because it's impossible to have two people that have the matching personality. What they will tell you, by the way, this one is headstrong, this one is talkative, this one is very quiet, this one is... And you will have to identify these tendencies and decide how to make it work. So there's no major mystery. It's just a science that helps us to understand our psychology. Om Namaschandikaya Bolo. Om Namaschandikaya. Thus, Narad Muni explained to Prabhu Ram about the Shakti Ma, and then he explains to her, Om Yacha Kimchitva Chudustu Sadastra Divanaitraye Tasya Sarvasya Ya Shakti Ruddhipati Ute Bhave. Om Namaschandikaya Bolo. Om Namaschandikaya. Om Namaschandikaya.
Om Namaschandikaya.
Whenever the universe exists, by the way, we are told that according to Mother, the Big Bang Theory created the universe. But those people who said that are now questioning their own theory, that there is no such thing as a Big Bang Theory, there is something else beyond the Big Bang Theory because they're discovering new galaxies every day. So their theories were built upon what they know, and interestingly, in our scriptures, all of our Puranas talks about how vast the universe is beyond this earth, and shows that Bhagavan Vishnu is the whole encompassing universe, not just one planet, but planets and galaxies beyond what we imagine. So what mankind doesn't know was already written in our scriptures. I don't know how come they know this. But he's saying to her, he said, this Divine Mother, let it be known that whenever the universe exists, nature exists. The minute anything comes into being, nature is there to support it. The nature that I talk about, it's natural that grass will grow. It's natural that seeds will germinate. It's natural that fruits will come. It's natural that flowers will grow. These are the natural things. Now, when we think of what happens in our body when we consume food, there's a process that we call the digestive system. Now we are told that with our saliva, it breaks down the food. And why is it that we have to chew our food 32 times with each mouthful? That's what they say you should do. Anybody did that recently? You're supposed to break it down to the finest level that the digestive system have little work to do. And then when the digestive system gets to work, then it's the anabolic and metabolic process that takes over, whereby it breaks down the food and creates all the energy and so on and so on. And by the way, it's like a little factory where it's separating energy, you go over there, iron, you go over there, zinc, you go over there. But our body has all of these things, protein, you go over there. And he said, you send some up there to the brain. Or there's a whole distribution center that is in our stomach that moves on to our intestines and so on. And then the waste gets, okay, waste, you go over there. Yes, that process of nature, who is the architect of that? And who makes sure it works properly all the time? Who is the quality control for that department? Nature. Ma Shakti. Thus, although we are being told here, and we are looking at it from a literal point of view, we must understand the spiritual and the scientific point of view that what they are talking about here is nature and nature itself. That is why Hinduism is not a religion, it is a way of life. Shakti Mata ki Jai. Having explained all of this to Prabhu Ram, we all know the Katha that Prabhu Ram, of course, goes on to enter into Lanka and retrieve Mother Sita and then performed his duty by destroying Ravan. And Sita, of course, fulfill her commitment that she will come and be the cause of Ravan's death. But I want to explain a little bit of some of the background about Mother Sita. There are many writings about how she came into being. And there are different stories. Remember, she promised Ravan that she will not come to birth from her mother's womb. We are told that that same Ravana, he charged taxes to everyone within his realm. And they wanted wealth, materialistic wealth. And the rishis and the munis had none of those. So they each took a little bit of their blood and they collected in a goblet and they sent it to Ravana and said, we are giving you the blood of our body as your taxes and you must take it. Ravana cannot refuse what was given as payment, but he says, put that away somewhere. This is one analogy. There are at least 3 different analogies. Tomorrow night, we will discuss the other 2 in details. But the point is, the promise that was made that I will come. And we are talking about divine, what do you call, what's the terminology? Huh? Conception it is without... Immaculate, thank you. Immaculate conception. The immaculate conception whereby without intercourse, there is birth. And there is an embryo created without intercourse. That immaculate conception, all of the birth of the divine Lord has been immaculate conception and birth. They do not take birth as we know it and come from an umbilical cord connection. There's no navel string cut from Rama, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughan and buried in the earth. They pragat hove. They appeared, but they took the form of babies to bring comfort to the mothers over there. Sitapati Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Shakti Mata ki jai. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ambe Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ambe Ma, bolo Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ambe Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ambe Ma, bolo Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ambe काली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमस्ते जय मां जय मां जय अम्बे मां जय मां जय अम्बे मां बोलो जय मां जय मां जय अम्बे मां जय मां जय मां जय अम्बे मां A few lines from a bhajan that we will chant every night. ये मन बड़ा चंचल है. But our minds, there is so much in our minds. We come to the mandir, hopefully, that there is peace in our mind. Sukh, Shanti, happiness and peace of mind. We must work very hard to achieve that. Not only when we are here, but as we are coming here, while we are here, when we leave here. Because we know man bara chanchal hai. It's a hard job to keep this mind calm and peaceful and relaxed. Challenges exist. Now someone says, Panditji, I don't have any problems. That's great. Then show those people who have problems how to have a peaceful mind. Give them guidance. Take on the joy of sharing that joy with others. Kaise tera bhajana karu? Remember that if we come to mandir, if we have home, and man barat chanchal hai, what kind of praises can we give God? We'll never praise God. All we are doing is demanding of God. Asking God, please help me, do this to me. Why is this happening to me? We are questioning, demanding. Never are we praising. We must praise Bhagavan. Bhakti kar do. Shraddha kar do. Devotion and faith in God. Then man nahi chanchal hai. It will not be upsetting. It will be Sukh Shanti. So tonight we leave here with Sukh Shanti. And we ask, did anyone bring prasad that was not offered? That it needs to be offered now? Anyone? Please come. And while we are doing prasad, I want everyone to call our names in our minds. As the mandali will offer the mantra for offering our prasad. In a minute, Tiwari ji is there. 1, 2. Om Sharkara Kandakadhani Dhani Chiragritani Cha Aharam Bhatta Bhojyam Cha Naivedyam Pratigriyatam Naivedyam Samarpayami. this opportunity to thank all of you for being here tonight. Announcement. Of course, we are on the second night of Navratri, and we are looking for volunteers to help in the mandir cleaning. We have set April 1st as the cleaning day for the mandir, and any volunteers who would like to come and help us with the general cleaning of the mandir. It's spring cleaning time. We'd like you to come, prepare to help us, starting at 9:30 a.m. Please register by calling the office, so we'll know how many people to come, because we'll have some Preeti Bhojan prepared for everyone that comes to volunteer. And once you sign up, you'll be told how to come prepared. Of course, come energized and prepared to work, then bring your gloves and so on and so on. Next. We have set up a QR code. We're looking for volunteers to be committed to the temple as volunteers. We are looking for 100 volunteers to be on open registration, to be called upon. These volunteers will be engaged in all of our events throughout the years. Navratri, Shivratri, Janmashtami, all of our major parts. The volunteers will be assigned to work with a project team on that specific project. In our mandir, we do not have a religious committee because everything in the mandir is religion. What we have are projects, and each project is headed by a project leader, and then that project leader puts together a team that addresses that project and works together to achieve that project. You could be engaged in more than one project. You could be engaged in only one project. Whatever you want to be engaged in, you are willing to get engaged. If you need to register, there's an orientation program, then we will assign you, and of course, with your approval, assign you to a specific project or task. Over the year, either continuously, you can become a regular person saying help at Katha on Tuesday evenings, or you could help out once a month, or you can only help out on special projects. It'll be your call. We want to do this. There is a QR code. You scan the code, and then you'll be asked to complete the form. We'll ask you for name, phone number, contact, and so on, and your availability. And then you will be contacted and asked to come for an orientation program. Next. The student volunteers also, those who are up to 18 who are trying to get their 40 hours, you can also use this QR code. There's two codes, one for adult volunteers and one for student volunteers. Student volunteers have a different prospect, a different program, because they have a time limit to achieve their hours, or they may agree to do it in a different way. So we have two different groups that we work with. If you want to receive our newsletters and information, we need your email addresses. Again, QR code is available. Just scan it with your phone. We are all about QR codes. We are high-tech in this mandir. Just scan the QR code and fill in your name and email address, and you will receive our newsletters information. On Friday, which is tomorrow, we are having, as part of our program, Chowki program. So we'll be singing bhajans, Chowki bhajans tomorrow, and that will be approximately 1 hour. The puja will be there, brief pravachan, and then Chowki, and then Aarti. We invite you to join us, invite friends and relatives to come. March 25th, of course, is Navgraha. And we do Navgraha puja for the benefits of all those who do not pray to the Navgrahas every day, who do not offer in their home, but once an opportunity, so twice a month, we have specifically Navgraha puja for anyone to come and participate in Navgraha puja. And the entire puja, Japa, Kusam, Sankasam, all of the prayers are offered to all of the Navgrahas on your behalf, on your family's behalf. Satyanarayana Puja, which is on Purnama, is on April 5th. This includes puja to Satyanarayana Bhagavan and the reading of the Satyanarayana Katha. Please visit our website. We have a feedback portal for you to complain, make suggestions, and you can complain. We want you to complain. We like your complaints. It helps us to get better. But of course, if you're making a complaint, please identify yourself. Be brave enough to put your name behind your words. And as such, any comments or feedback will be received. All our classes are open for registration. At this time, Sabhi log khade ho jaye. We invite everyone to stand. We are very sure. We have 9 thalis prepared tonight, 8 thalis prepared for Aarti, and we have a sanitizing team who will help us to sanitize your hands. And after Aarti, we'll be wishing happy birthday to my dear little daughter here. So everyone, please be ready to sing happy birthday to Marissa afterwards, after Aarti. And Nomorisa has many of her friends here today. We want to welcome them to our mandir. Let's give all the new people the welcome to our mandir, please.
Jai
Jai. Let me invite everyone to clasp our hands in front of our chest. This is the ideal way to pray. And bow our heads in humility. As we offer our concluding prayers tonight, we appeal to Ma Shakti and Ma Maya, that, O Mother, bless us that we can blend in with nature and live a natural life, purity of body and mind and spirit. As we offer our concluding prayers tonight, I ask you to listen to the voice of Marissa, Jove and Rudra as they will lead us in closing prayers. Om Hari Om
Hari Om. Tvameva Mata च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा जयन्ती मङ्गलाकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते ॐ द्यौः शान्ति अन्तरिक्षं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्ति रापः शान्ति ऋषधय शान्ति वनस्पति शान्ति विश्वदेवा शान्ति ब्रह्मा शान्ति सर्वं शान्ति शान्तिरेवा शान्ति शान्तिरेधि
मा सर्गमय
तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय
मृत्युर्मा
अमृतं गमय
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः
सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
बोले सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की
जय।
उमापति महादेव की
जय।
गणपति भगवान की
जय।
लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की सरस्वती मैया की शंकर भगवान की राधा कृष्ण भगवान की पवन सुत हनुमान की बोलिए सब संतन की सतगुरुदेव महाराज की अपने अपने माता पिता की धर्म की अधर्म का नाश प्राणियों में सद्भावना हो विश्व का कल्याण हो धरती माता की जय हो भारत माता की जय हो।
ओम नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव हर हर महादेव। सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय।
बोले व्यास जी महाराज की जय।
हैप्पी बर्थडे प्लीज सभी लोग आसन लीजिए। प्लीज बी सीटेड एवरीवन। इन दिस मंदिर बार बार दिन ये आए बार बार दिन ये आए बार बार दिन ये आए as the day comes and the day going, our heart is saying, Tu jiye hazaro saal. May you live at least 1,000 years, not 1 or 2. You still have a long way to go ahead. Give her a big hand, please. And may Ma Saraswati continue to bless you with good looks, charm, and personality, and of course, beautiful voice, and a good child, a good sister, a good daughter, and a hard-working member of the Ram Mandir. Give her a wonderful round of applause. And now, who's going to final bhajan today?
No, as we're driving.